What's up, idols? It's CC Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for clicking on this video. This is like a cluster filming. I'm not using my mic because I'm weaving in and out of congestion and I don't want y'all to hear that up close and in HD, so I hope you're okay with my camera audio until I fully recover. For this video, it's not a story time, but it's something interesting, trending, becoming normalized in Korea right now, and it's can we talk about it? This came from an article that I read online the other day and I got so curious, so I started to do research. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm about 164 centimeters. That's what, like 5'4"? So I'm not tall. When I was teaching in Korea, I only taught at elementary school and some of the students were taller than me. Again, I know I'm not tall, but I should not be shorter than a 10-year-old. It's a well-known fact that South Koreans are taller today than they were even as recently as like the 70s. And yes, it is true that on average, people in developed nations are taller on average because the air is better and they tend to have better diets or more nutrition. We know parents in Korea want their kids to be successful, right? They pay for expensive tutors, buy them nice things, even get them cosmetic surgery because pretty privilege is very real.
이뻐질 거라고 생각하니까 그거에 대해 또 기대가 되고 더 빨리 수술을 하고 싶네요.
Hwain has just finished high school and her mother has given her a graduation gift, eye surgery.
빨리 잘 돼서 더 예쁜 모습으로 대학 생활도 즐기고.
But did you guys know that parents inject their kids with growth hormones? Having a tall and handsome child is something to brag about in South Korea. It's a sign of good genetics, good wealth. You can afford the environment that produces a strong, tall child. But what alarmed me is they're doing this without being fully aware of the side effects and long-term effects it will have on their kids. So in this video, we're gonna talk about that because I just learned a lot and I'm shook. The article I saw was from Korea's government and it makes it seem like this is a natural progression for their people being taller and stronger. And yes, we're all getting taller on average, but let's talk about what Koreans are using to boost their height boom and how it even rivals wealthy European countries. Just for a quick reference, let's look at this chart for a second. It compares the height of North Korean teenagers to South Korean teenagers. We know that nutrition isn't the best thing in North Korea, and this is a good indicator of how a good, healthy, stable diet can aid your growth. Also, these growth hormones that South Koreans are giving their kids. Two different groups of people who essentially have the same genetics and background. Height is often seen as a status and power move, right? Look at how Drake kept taking shots at Kendrick's height because that's all he had. Even at the DMZ, North Korea puts their tallest soldiers on display so they can say, look, we grow tall, healthy people in the strong, powerful North Korea. Y'all might be curious about what this drug actually is, so let's get into that. Originally, these drugs were prescribed to patients with diagnosed growth hormone deficiencies, Turner syndrome for example, which is a condition that only affects women when one of the X chromosomes is missing or partially missing. It can cause other medical and developmental problems like heart defects, failure of the ovaries to develop, and short height. But these days, they're being prescribed recklessly under the guise of height growth injections. A growing concern with this being advertised as a height growth injection is the Ministry of Food and Drug Safety, or MFDS, said the safety and efficacy of these drugs as a drug for growing height in the general population has not been confirmed. That's right, they're injecting this into their kids and they don't know the side effects, the long-term potential consequences. Some of these side effects include an allergic reaction, swelling at the injection site, rashes, hives, hip, knee, and other joint pains, headaches. Some studies also link it to diabetes. There's also a lot of concern over what can happen when you suddenly stop taking the treatment. There are new studies into these drugs now because of how often it's being injected into otherwise healthy children to help them grow. 10.66 million growth hormone injections were supplied to 5,761 medical institutions nationwide from 2021 to September of 2023. Only 307,000 of those, or 3%, were for patients who were actually diagnosed with a height deficiency disorder of any kind. The other 97% were basically in otherwise healthy, normal children and adolescents. Most of these injections are given without any official diagnosis or ailment. I even read an article. It was a Korean mom who lives in Australia with two of her kids. One's 8, one's 9. And they don't give this drug readily or abundantly outside of Korea, for example. So she goes to Korea twice a year to buy this in bulk to inject them into her kids so they can grow tall. This is what one mom said about why she uses this on her kids. My second child isn't short, but she isn't tall either. So I wanted to visit a growth clinic and, if possible, start her on a growth hormone treatment. As a parent, I feel it is my duty to do my best to set up my child for success. And we all know that short people, there's like a stigma against short people. Girls want a tall man, guys like to be tall. Girls want to be tall because that's like models are tall, like we get it. But yeah, there's definitely a strong height stigma in Korea. I want to read something I've read on this article. The social bias on height, otherwise called heightism, was first publicly acknowledged in Korea in 2009 when a female guest panel on the KBS Global Talk Show from 2006 to 2010 blatantly called all men below 180 centimeters by her standards a loser. The scene triggered many men, and over 200 people filed for 4 billion won in damages to broadcaster KBS through the Press Arbitration Commission. In a 2016 poll by Open Survey, over 50% of its 500 participants aged 9 through 16, and the parents answered that height is an important part of one's life. As to why it's important, 38% answered for a confidence boost. And like we see it even in BTS, right? Like Jimin and Suga get crap for being short. They wear lifts in their shoes. They stand on their tippy toes. But yeah, this article was really interesting, and I'll link it in the description if you want to read more about this. So yeah, basically, I was on Instagram and I read an article about how, oh wow, Koreans are taller. They're so tall now. And literally all of the comments were people talking about growth hormone injections that every kid takes in Korea now. So this is like a well-known thing. I'm just late to the party. Did y'all know about this? Am I the only one that's late and I just need to catch up? But yeah, this is worrisome for many reasons.
But giving your perfectly healthy but short kid HGH might not be the best idea. First of all, it's pretty expensive, costing as much as $50,000. For spending all that money, it might not even add height to those without a deficiency. Plus, it can cause some very serious health issues. Too much HGH can cause a condition called acromegaly, which basically causes hands and feet to swell. It causes overly pronounced facial features and excessive sweating. HGH can also trigger cardiomyopathy, osteoporosis, menstrual irregularities, and impotence, according to a study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine. And one study published in the journal Acta Medica Scandinavica found that the condition can increase the risk of premature death from heart problems. But still, knowing all these risks, people still take HGH for more superficial reasons. So if your kid doesn't have a hormone deficiency and you're thinking of spending upwards of $50,000 to try and boost their height, think of all the side effects first. Being short isn't really a health condition, and plenty of people wind up being just fine looking up at the world.
So basically, this is another one of those things where when your kid graduates high school, you pay for them to get double eyelid surgery or fix their nose or any other plastic surgery that you think will make them look better and have more advantages in life. Now you inject your kids so they can grow tall too, because that gives them other advantages in life. I mean, we do see it in the K-dramas where they're like, my son is so tall and big and strong, he takes care of his mother. And medical tourism is big in Korea, and now people are coming into Korea for growth hormone injections as well. I'd say about 1 in 5 patients every week are foreigners, Lee said. There aren't many qualified doctors in this field, and oftentimes people come to the clinic after experiencing severe side effects of limb lengthening surgery done at different clinics. Because yeah, did I mention that people in Korea can also surgically get taller and lengthen their legs, lengthen their bones? So I don't know, I'm not a doctor. I just found this very interesting because I do remember a lot of my elementary school kids being taller than me. And again, I'm only 5'4", I'm not tall, but I don't remember being that tall when I was 10. So yeah, that's it. I don't want this video to be too long. I was just shook when I did research about this. I didn't know this was a thing, and apparently I'm the only one who didn't know. Thanks for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong!